Hello, welcome to this video explaining the Jill of all classes build. It is using the Slayer of Terramorphous class mod for the Necromancer, which increases your burn damage and your ignite chance and gives you some extra max health. You won't notice that boost to the max health though. The Necromancer is not a character that has a lot of max health, so as soon as you start taking health damage, it's going to get chewed up and disappear very quickly. With this build, you can run it with a Sham, a B shield, a Roid shield for Death Trap. I'm using a cooldown rate relic. This one really should have fire damage on it. I've tried using electrical elemental weapons, but to really capitalize on what the Slayer of Terramorphous class mod is giving you, I think it should be fire damage to maximize that. Weapons that work well. Toothpick works well. I was playing around with the Slagger, but it's not really doing anything for me at the moment. Slagger is a good one for slagging. And the redundant fibber works really well with this build as well. And of course the Northfleet if you're using the Sham. Generally try and use a transfusion grenade mod. The Necromancer doesn't have a good way to replenish her health, so whenever your health dips below 50%, being able to throw out a transfusion to get some of that health back to keep you above the health gate. So if you take massive damage, you don't get one shot. The transfusion grenade will be helpful there. So with the skill selection, the skills that your class mod gives bonuses to, they're all fantastic skills, except for one. But well, except for two. But 3 of the 5 skills are fantastic. So we've got pre-shrunk Cyberpunk. This will up your anarchy, your maximum anarchy. So instead of capping at 400, it now caps at 600. So at 400, you would have got plus 700% gun damage. At 600, you get plus 1050% gun damage if you land a direct hit. Only if you land a direct hit. If you use Ricochet, then you're going to lose half of that. The thing is, your accuracy is going to be really crap at 600, which is where I found the Unkempt Herald even became unreliable because of the lack of accuracy. And that's why I swapped to the redundant fibber, because it just seemed to be ricocheting better and hitting harder than just getting one bullet or two here or there from the Unkempt Herald when it was missing, and needing to get too close that the bullets weren't splitting, and if you were far enough for the bullets to split, then they were going in every direction. So just your accuracy is going to get crap is what I'm going to say there, which is why you're going to need points in close enough to redirect some of those bullets towards enemies. Because your cap is now 600, you're also going to want to max out Typecast Iconoclast so that you can accumulate those anarchy stacks quicker. That 30% will go a long way when 600 is your max. So top that up. Now with the Little Big Trouble skill tree, your class mod gives you some bonuses to Evil Enchantress. This only affects the status effect damage. It doesn't affect your gun damage when you're using elemental weapons. So you might find this skill's not very powerful if you're just using the vanilla version of the game. If you're using the community mod, you'll notice some benefit from the skill. But if you're just using the vanilla version, you won't get a lot out of this skill. So you might want to consider moving Electrical Burn or Evil Enchantress up to more pep so you can slag better. You probably won't get too much of a benefit out of there, and the other skills here are undesirable anyway. So we do want to get to the bottom of Make It Sparkle so we can charge Death Trap so he does more damage. Just in case you do, if you don't have Anarchy, you can run this build like it's a Robotier, and Death Trap can score some massive melee damage, massive melee hits to get those kills to help you early game, or if you've just died on a boss fight. If you're lucky, Death Trap might get you through. It depends on whether he's going to melee them or zap them. If he zaps them, he won't deal any damage. Mylan Shield, keep you alive. Strength of 5 gorillas will increase Death Trap. Electrical Burn will mean that when you're dealing electrical damage, there's a chance that That will then ignite on fire. That is increased by electrocute damage, so plus 15% will boost that up a little bit. Not much though. And then yeah, make it sparkle. So we can charge Death Trap so he's hitting twice as hard, because his physical will then be duplicated in the element that he's charged with. Going down the Best Friends Forever tree, you've got Fancy Mathematics to keep you alive. Your class mod also gives bonuses to Made of Sterner Stuff to keep Death Trap alive and increase his melee damage a little bit. To complement that skill, max out Potent as a pony. That'll just give you some max health and give Death Trap some max health to keep you both alive a little bit longer as well. Again, you won't notice that max health difference for you too much, and 10% goes a long way for Death Trap because he has such a huge health pool. 20% cooler, so you can get him out a little bit more often, and sharing is caring, so you can equip Death Trap with a Roid Shield when you want him to smack really hard with those melee hits. Bucket Up, this is a skill that's handy to have, but when you've got Fancy Mathematics, so many points in there, and your shield recharge delay is above 126%, the recharge rate is twice as fast, you might not feel there's too much use for Buck Up because your shields will be charging before Death Trap even comes to charge you up again. But every so often you might be able to time it when you have a corrode or a status effect on you, and it might keep you alive. For 1 point, when there's no real better other options, that could be a good one to have. I do have 5 points in Unstoppable Force. You can move these to where you want. Better Half might be a good option, so you can shoot those bullets out just a little bit faster. If you want to get up and take some damage as well, you could look at Blood Soaked Shields. But again, the reason why you don't really need Unstoppable Force or Blood Soaked Shields is because Fancy Mathematics is so well boosted. This skill, however, we're using it for the movement speed. That can be handy for running away from enemies, dodging melee hits, dodging bullets at times if you're quick enough. But that's just to help you get around, really. Don't overlook Robot Rampage. This attack absolutely devastates when Death Trap has a Roid Shield equipped and he is charged with an element. That there's a gameplay video. There's 2 gameplay videos really where we've used Death Trap versus Cassius. When he does his Robot Rampage, you'll see it takes off more than half of Cassius' hit points when Cassius is slagged and Death Trap is charged. So it's a great one to have. Anyway, what you can see here is it's trying to use all 3 skill trees. So it's like the Roboteer build, the Catalyst build, and a little bit of the Anarchist at play here. They all come together really well. Check out that gameplay video and you'll see it in action. Enjoy.